Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The first time I want to introduce myself. My name is from Institut of Deli Husada Deli Tua. The motion is this house, as a first-generation immigrant parent of color in a predominantly white country, will choose to live and raise children in ethnic enclave. The key of our motion today is immigrant and ethnic enclave. We know that immigrant is a person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country. And we know, ladies and gentlemen, almost a decade after the onset of the Great Recession, children of color and children of immigrant families still face persistent barriers to opportunity and well-being. And ladies and gentlemen, mysteries how children from different racial backgrounds are faring on the path of opportunity and beset on a composite index score comprising a set of 12 indicators including birth weight, enroll in early child education, and reading and math proficiency, high school graduation rates, and parents' educational attainment. And ladies and gentlemen, the report also found that among children in immigrant families have 88% of whom are US citizens, and 84% are children of color, including 55% Latin. Ladies and gentlemen, 18% Asian and Pacific Islander, and 8% Black children. And ladies and gentlemen, in addition, 1 in 4 children in immigration families live below the federal poverty line. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that while the median income from immigrant families, and then at the same time, the study found that 80% of children in immigrant families live into parent households, compared with 60% of those in non-immigrant, and that comparable percentage were enrolled in early childhood education program, or we know that is in person we can say 59%, and as those in non-immigrant families is 60%. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that the report recommendation include making sure that child well-being being in a given priority in immigrant information decided that police. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that which support welcoming and healthy school environments are educationally founded, and that more resources are devoted to increasing economic opportunity to parents of color. Ladies and gentlemen, we can know that the ethnic of immigrant is also make some problem if we say like if some people come to our country, it can make some problem. We know that the news about in America, we know that it can make some racist in this country, and because that if people come immigrate to our country, the people or the human in our country also not to welcome to the immigrant to our country. And the second, ladies and gentlemen, we also give an argument about ethnic enclaves. Ethnic enclaves have been prominent urban feature for countries. For example, ladies and gentlemen, include a new American on beer brewery, an old me in a Bursat, and ladies and gentlemen, and an even older American Carter in Jerusalem. Urban Carters have often belonged mainly to reside having a particular sectarian of origin. Ladies and gentlemen, historically, the formation of ethnic enclaves have been the result of a variety of social economy. The factor of the immigration to some familiar space in the residing country. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that cultural diversity brings together people who don't understand each other language, but the group can communicate it more easily with neighbors in an enclave. In some cases, enclaves have a control newly concrete providence and grew to observe the entry permitted a group stable. Ladies and gentlemen, as in the English town of Brooklyn in 1909. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that the lack of access to economic capital of the knowledge regarding Resettling neighbor can consider newly arrived immigrant duration of the housing. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that social dynamic such apprenticeship and regime may consider ethnic. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that housing discrimination may also prevent ethnic minorities. Discussing of the ethnic inclusion have defined by Sabatilia culture of business. Success and growth can be largely predicted by those factors. Ladies and gentlemen, the availability of capital resource is self-sufficient, or we can know it institutionally complicated. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that through the supply of new immigration and the demand of goods offered in the market, they only reset the point after the first supplying for the needs of ethnic and expecting to meet needs those in the large market, the society. Ladies and gentlemen, we in here I want to say like an ethnic enclave is geographic with high ethnic concentration. So ethnic enclave is also give a concentrate to ethnic another country. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that the term is usually used to refer to either a residential area or a worse with a high concentrated ethnic firms. Ladies and gentlemen, the last I want to give my argument is about the success of immigrant also growth depends of self-sufficiency and it's also with economic purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that immigrant is also have a different in our country. Thank you.
The world will not destroyed by the evil, but the world will destroyed by the people who didn't do anything. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. I'm Zari as the third speaker to make this conclusion, and in this National University debating championship. For the jury whom I love and I respect, and for the viewers who watch this video, in this conclusion, we are from the pro side, or with affirmative side, or we call that the government to pro or support this motion, and to the cultural enclave. So the ethnic enclave have been prominent urban features for the countries. Example that include a Neo-Armenian or a Neo-Barrett at all in one debaters. But is it the big problem? As we know, even though the color some other countries have a full the color, said we know, if we can believe, is it not the big problem? Because the problem is come for the system, it's not from the items. And we believe in here we to attack for this, and we attack for this problem because how we can know about for the news other future. Because of what? Because every son the people and the son they daughters and tell about they are not more better or they are not better than another person, because some the historical deformation ethnic enclave has been the result of variety of socioeconomic and socio-economic factors that draw immigrants to similar spaces and receiving country. Cultural diversity brings together people who don't understand each other language, but the group can communicate with the new own language, but the group can communicate more easily with neighbor and enclave. And here we look, there is no problem, and we can believe this motion, we can support to receive and together to hug our brothers and sisters. There is no problem about the black skin or the white skin, because of what? Even not, we no believe, look at the rainbow, even some the other colors, some the red, blue, yellow, or even we got some other colors, make it the rainbow more beautiful. Because we believe we can increase together our countries. And as the Indonesian people, we have to support the motion because of what? In Indonesian culture, we teach and explain to the world If start from the Sabang to the Merauke, we gathered in here, start the Javanese, Papuas, Malay, Batak, Sandis, and others ethnics, we can show with the word, we can believe with it. And here's to approve, and we believe, we are pro, and we support this motion. And the last I say, for support this the urban in this country. Because of what? Because the lack of access to academic capital and of language regarding residential neighborhoods can constrain newly arrived immigrants to regions of affordable housing. Social dynamics such as prejudice and racism may concentrate two ethnics into region displaying ethnic similarity. So, my friends, my brothers, sisters, these times in this pandemic, it's a good time for us to make our relation more beautiful, to support our brothers and sisters who we know that the racism doing system. Because one thing that you know, the problem comes is not from the items, it just called the system. And Bismillah, the last I say, Alhamdulillah, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.